My name is Susan Duman, and I'm a student at the Bloomsburg campus of Commonwealth University. I'm a political science major with a concentration in pre-law. Today, I will be discussing obesity increasing across various countries. I chose this topic because it is a very important problem that does not get enough attention. People also tend to joke about this issue a lot without realizing the damage it could put onto people and society as a whole. So let's get into it. Here's a brief introduction. First of all, what is obesity? Obesity is much different from being overweight. Defined by the World Health Organization, being overweight is a condition in which a person has excessive fat, while obesity is having a much more drastic amount of excessive fat to the point that it will impair a person's health. The way that I like to think of it is that it is possible to be healthy while being overweight. However, it is impossible to be healthy while being obese. Obesity is determined by the body mass index, or BMI, threshold of over 30 for adults. Why does obesity matter? Obesity has a huge impact on global health because it leads to chronic illnesses within individuals. This includes, but isn't limited to, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, strokes, chronic respiratory disorders, digestive disorders, neurological disorders, and cancer. The purpose of this presentation is to educate on the topic of obesity and urge its importance to take action in preventing rates from continuing to rise. Now let's discuss its global presence. According to the World Obesity Federation, obesity has tripled from 1975 to 2022 globally. In 2024, it was found that more than 1 billion people in the world are obese, 88 million being adults, and 159 million being adolescents aging from 5 to 19 years old. Obesity rates in adults tripled for women and quadrupled for men. The World Obesity Federation has an interactive map where you could type in the country and it shows the percent of obesity in men, women, boys, and girls. Up on the screen, I have the United States, where it shows that men and women are around 40 to 50% obese, while boys and girls are lower than that. Like I said, you could type in any country to this and it will show you the obesity rates. They also have other data tables and infographics on their website if you're interested. The link to this website is in my works cited, or you can Google the World Obesity Federation and it should pop up. Moving on, let's discuss obesity in high-income countries. United States, United Kingdom, and Australia are just some examples of some high-income countries where obesity has been very present. Obesity has been continuing to increase over the past couple of decades in high-income countries. This could be because of many people live in stable environments where they can afford to eat out and do it frequently. With these areas, it is easy for anyone to hop in their car and go out and get food instead of making it at home. And also, the recent applications like DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub make it even faster for people to get their cravings without leaving their house or put in any efforts, despite this being very pricey because they normally have a lot of fees, which makes it a lot more expensive than normal. These new apps can be very beneficial to the economy because it does create more jobs. However, these applications don't do the best job at promoting healthy eating. It just more provides a quick fix. Next, let's talk about obesity in low-income countries. Some examples are India, Afghanistan, Yemen, and African countries. These countries are burdened by either malnutrition problems or rising obesity. They normally don't have a good middle ground. The cheap food that many of these people will buy, because that's all they can really afford, tends to be high in calories, and majority of the time they're not very healthy. On the screen I have an image of a ramen pack. I have put this image here because it is an example of how cheap food is not the best option for people to be eating. I know a lot of college students eat these because they are super cheap. One pack is about 50 cents and you could get a pack of 6 for around $2 or $3. These prices are super nice. However, these are not only high in calorie, but they also have a lot of sodium in them. I know I personally try not to eat these often despite the price being very friendly for someone who is low income or trying to save money, because they really just are not the best for you to be eating, especially if you're eating them very consistently. Now we will discuss the socioeconomic impacts. Healthcare costs are rising due to the high demand that obesity is putting on people. Workers' productivity may slow down or due to the strain of weight on their bodies, which makes a huge impact on efficiency in not just manual labor, but really any job. And it affects families because many obese parents are unable to play with their children because of the physical demand. They're not able to chase after them and like throw things with them, play some sports. They're not really able to do that, which can also create a mental health impact on the child. And as a whole, it just creates a huge financial burden on any country. To conclude, obesity rates have been rising everywhere, not just within the United States. I know that most of the time people really stereotype the United States of having such a huge obesity epidemic, but it's not just the United States, it's really anywhere. And the subject is so important because not only does it affect the individual person, it also affects people's jobs and the efficiency of a country. It's affecting countries worldwide despite economic differences, whether you're high income, low income, or in the middle. And it is vital that policies are enacted to promote healthy eating and lifestyles to prevent this problem from going. Thank you. And here is my works cited.